Hey, 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 it is Anissa B, and welcome to my asylum, I guess. I don't know. I wanted to actually touch on a few things. Let me grab my baby first because she's not going to let me just talk, have a chit chat. Well, okay. So here's AJ girl. I honestly today was just like feeling very down, wanted to put up a post. I'm not done with my vlog that I've been working on. I kind of had to run around yesterday and didn't have enough time to finish up, so I'm hoping to finish up possibly by tomorrow, maybe the next few days. I'm not gonna put too much of a time schedule on it because I just don't think that's good and fair for me and for my family. Because then I'll get into my own head and be like, I need to have it done right now. Today I kind of like wanted to touch on a few things just because I think it's super important that I address these things, because these things have been things that have been conflicting with who I am and who I want to be as a growing woman, wife, and mother in my life. This morning when I woke up, of course I was like super down for yoga, but I also did have a bit of I guess just being human and being tired, because I have been going and going and going. I was exhausted, and I realized that I was exhausted, and I felt like it was really important for me to think about myself when I was struggling getting up this morning to go and be physical and be able to do something for myself to clear my head, and for me, for this time period right now in my life, because of the fact that I'm still going through a little bit of like that postpartum and stuff, I think it's very important that at first, when I first was like leaving out the house, because I actually had my alarm clock on, and then I decided to turn my alarm clock off, and then I woke back up and I put it back on for a later time, for like 10 minutes later. I think it was like, I had the alarm set for 5, and then it went from 5 to 5:10. And then the next thing you know, I was dancing with 5:30. And I said, well, then I could definitely probably wake up at 5:40 and make it there and be refreshed. And I'm just not that type of person that I can't just wake up out of bed and go type of person. I just, for the rest of the day, I'm completely like I'm just like scrabbled up into like nonsense. So I decided that to wake up at 5:35, close to 5:40. I was 5:40. I had to be there by 6 before the doors locked. So here, baby girl. So I struggled with myself. And with that being said, I said, there's so much of myself that I still need to gain control of. And by doing that, I have to... Hold on one second. Really, girl? Are we really doing this? Did we? I have to go change her. But I'll take you along. Let me just figure this one out. Honey, I can't believe you. I'm going to go get you a diaper. I'll be right back. She's safe. Anyhow, so I was struggling with myself. And with that being said, I started to say self first. And my first thing that came to my head was like, well, what do I need to gain for myself to make myself feel more happy? And I'm not a professional, like I'm only human, and I go through certain experiences and I just kind of am just winging life how so many do. But hold on one second. I don't want her to. And that's the thing about being a mom. You can't even have a moment for yourself. It's okay, honey. Hold on. Okay. And let's see. I just want to put this down. Okay. I guess we'll leave it like that. Hopefully she doesn't knock it down. But anyways, so I had like this whole thing where I was thinking of different ways that I need to feel more like myself again. You know, what can I do to feel better, you know, for me and to make me feel whole. And so I came up with a few things that right away, boom, kind of hit me hard, like, bam, this is what it is. And the first one that I came up with, I'm going to change your diaper in 2 seconds, AJ, was self-control. I wrote everything down on here, but, see, I wrote it, but, I was in a rush and I kind of didn't have, like, I wanted to write it again and have more of, you know, better handwriting, which I still suck, but, so the first thing that I realized that I need to gain and get better at is my self-control, because, although I made it to yoga, I was not going to yoga. And although like today, self-control won, there are days where self-control is going to just mess me up and I'm just going to feel guilty and lost again for not doing something I should have done. And then the second one that I had on the list was self-confidence. And right now, honestly, in where I'm at, I am not gonna sit here and pretend that I am like feeling like super duper confident, or like you think I have any confidence to even do this on a recording. This is not an easy thing for me to do. And I just feel the need to like kind of put my own thoughts out there and stuff like that, but that doesn't mean that I have the confidence to do that. I'm just taking a step out of my own comfort zone, because if anyone knows who I am very private. I've always been very private in my life, but in the like recent years, I've gotten more and more open, and I kind of, not that I don't care what anyone thinks, but I'm like kind of like letting go of like anyone else's opinions, and I could care less in that sense, which that's probably not good to feel that way or be that way, but that's how I feel. So I want to gain more self-confidence in who I am and what I'm here for and what I'm supposed to be doing here. And by being able to like, you know, have that, I also have to be, have confidence and build some more self-confidence. The next thing that was a thing that I had wrote down was, and the reason why I like to write things down, I don't know, like back in the 80s, like 80s kids, I know that you guys know who, you know, the people I'm talking to. Writing things down 100 times, you memorized it, and then you usually did good on the test. So, that's why it's being written down again, because this is like the third time I wrote it down. But this is the first time I wrote it down. I don't know where my other piece of paper is, but anyways, so self-esteem. When I talk about self-esteem, I'm not only talking about my outer appearance, I'm also talking about my inner feelings and my inner appearance of who I am, and learning that, you know, I may not be 100% where like society wants me, or where I even feel comfortable with, but just learning some more self-esteem and telling myself like, you look good, you know, because oddly enough, it's funny when I look at pictures back in the days and I'm like, damn, okay, now you look good, and now this current Anissa doesn't look good. So that's another thing, is definitely self-esteem. The other one was self-love, you know, and that goes hand in hand with self-esteem. Just being able to be kind and being able to, you know, tell myself on a regular basis, like, you are the best and you are great and I love you and I think you're beautiful and all that stuff. I think that stuff is so important to remind yourself, because you could get so lost. Sorry guys, I'm cleaning a diaper. But you can get so lost in all the stuff going around you and compare situations and all that stuff, and end up where, you know, you lose self-love for yourself. Like, you lose love for yourself. And so I have to remind myself to always remind myself to love myself. Just with anything, like, you know, being not a new mom, because I have a 3-year-old, but being a mom again, and actually having, you know, and Zeke is 17, so it's like, that shit was like, ooh, excuse my language, but it's like more than a decade apart. But like doing it all over again and trying to, you know, your self-love deteriorates as you get older, I think, right? And so I used to be slimmer, and in society I was probably more accepted and more welcomed with open arms. And now when I was pregnant with Titan was pretty much nice to my body. And then, you know, AJ, I gained some weight, and so like now I'm trying to like love my curves and my lumps and my, you know, stretch marks and my cellulite that I have, you know, but that doesn't mean that I want to stay and remain in this place. And it's not because I don't love who I am today, but it's because I just want to change for myself so that my self-love can grow, you know, which doesn't mean that I don't, like, self-love doesn't mean that you have to be skinny. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that I think I found the reason why there were probably a lot more open doors and welcoming, you know, in my life, was because of the fact that I had so much self-confidence, self-control, my self-esteem was so high that my self-love was so radiant. You know what I mean? And so it was very easy for anyone to welcome me in without a doubt, unfortunately. So yeah, and then the very last one that I wrote down was self-appreciation. And when I'm talking about that, it's just, honestly, it's just learning once again. It's just all from boom, 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 boom to they all kind of mesh into each other. But it's just like really just learning to appreciate everything. There are people in this world that don't have as much, you know, as much in their life at all, in general. And to have, I'm sorry, I'm looking for something. You guys are like coming with me the whole time. But to be able to have like to appreciate every moment in your life, from things that sucked even. Appreciate those times, you know? So that's where I'm trying to also tell myself, like, come on, Anissa, like, you have to have self-appreciation. You have to see how much you should appreciate yourself because you've grown. So, I'm sorry, guys. It's all like crooked, whatever, but it is what it is. At least I could talk. So yeah, those were the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 self things that I felt were important to remind myself today. And, you know, maybe what I'm saying makes no sense. Maybe you're looking at me, you're watching this and you're thinking like, this girl don't know what the heck she's talking about. She's not a professional. I'm not claiming to be a professional. I'm just honestly just talking to someone who may be dealing with a lot of, I didn't even put this one, but dealing with the inner self-worth of like questioning themselves all the time and trying to figure out where they are in this world, and if they are actually like doing anything good for themselves and for others, and they're worthless. Especially with like dealing with postpartum, you know, I decided I took a different route. I did talk to my doctor. And I told my doctor I just need some time because I know that I'm not only going through having, you know, postpartum, I'm also going through a grieving process still. So I didn't want to seek full medical care, which is not something that I advise anyone to do. You know, you do what makes sense for your body, for your mind, for your heart, for your soul, not anything that I'm saying. But I think for me, the first step was realizing that I am going through some type of postpartum. And I did reach out to a friend, and you know who you are. I don't want to, you know, shout you out or anything, but I did reach out to someone, and that someone talked to me, and that someone, I even FaceTimed her, and it was like really touching to see that someone can actually like get emotional by the way that I'm feeling because they understood. So that's why I'm kind of like putting on this video, you know, decided to come on and do this video, was because I'm struggling with those things. I'm struggling with myself, and I want to be able to have that opportunity to help someone if I can, by just like understanding that you're not alone. It doesn't mean that you hate your baby. It doesn't mean that you know, that you want to harm yourself or your child or, you know, your family. It's just when your hormones are all over the place, they're all over the freaking place. So, you know, that was my thing this morning, was I felt like because I turned my alarm off and kept putting it on snooze, I almost felt this like pressure of losing control because I was about to like miss yoga, and I was like fighting that, and I had to fight and get my control back. And does that mean that it comes from like postpartum? It could mean that. It could just be like a depression or a sadness that's in my heart. But yeah, so I just wanted to come on and kind of chat about that, because that was like my 6 self things that I was like feeling today. Was I just felt, you want to go on the floor, honey? Okay. She's very funny. Here you go, honey. We are learning how to hold this. She's not the best, but she's trying. Here you go, honey. Here. Hi. There you go. You see? You see? Yes. So I just, I forgot. See, I lost train of thought because she's crying. But, no, I just, was feeling like I was losing self-control, and then I started to just feel like, oh my goodness, like it's all within myself, and I need to like fight this, and I need to move forward, and I need to push forward and continue to use all these self words that I, wrote down today, and like enforce these things and gain these things more than I've ever had before. And I know that it's not gonna come overnight. Like, you're not just gonna wake up and be like, today I feel glamorous and beautiful, and I feel like I have, confidence, and I appreciate myself. None of that's gonna happen right away. There's gonna be, hey honey, there's gonna be ups and downs, no matter what. There's nobody who lives in a perfect world where everything is just gonna be peaches and cream all the time. So, here, honey. Here you go. You don't want this? So, yeah, so I just kind of wanted to come on and just have that little bit of a candid recording. Nothing special. Nothing theatrical. No art to this. Just myself. Just talking about some of like the things as a new mom again that I may actually struggle with. And just that's pretty much it. She's tired, so I have to put her to sleep. But if anybody else is maybe having a moment and can't have a moment because they got the baby, and also just questioning themselves and all that stuff, just there's always help. There's always someone to talk to. There's always someone to call, and yeah, that's pretty much it. But I probably should go so that I could get this little one. Hey, Mamash, what happened? You sleepy? Yeah, she's like rubbing her whole face in my shoulder. But anyhow, I know this is like very like out of the blue. I'm sorry that it's like not anything spectacular. But yeah, everybody enjoy your day. And I just kind of went on a rant. And, I just hope everybody enjoys their day and has a good rest of the day. Anyhow, stay healthy and keep dreaming. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.